Sorry, I had to cut that last video short. There was an intruder in my house. Not really, but someone was there, and I did not want to continue talking in the camera in front of them. I'm still not quite comfortable with that. I don't like being interrupted when I'm doing these things. It's just a preference, and it's something I may work to get more comfortable with, dealing with interruptions and speaking on camera in front of people that aren't on camera with me. I consider this process to be a pretty private one because I am talking about things that are private to me, that are unique to my circumstances, and not everyone is somebody I wish to share these with, even though I'm posting them on the internet, which is a little bit ironic, but it's just how I'm operating right now. But anyways, so side effects of medication are still prevalent. They are still something that I contend with on a daily basis. But they are, there is an amount of normality or normalcy to the side effects that I am used to. Can't quite say I'm comfortable with it, but their presence has been around the side effects presence has been around for as long as I've been taking the medications. And I would rather deal with some side effects and still be decently functional than to lose functionality from not taking medications at this point in time. I think that was the general point that I was trying to make. I hope that makes sense. This is a process coming off of meds, or I'm not actually coming off of meds at this point, reducing the dosage of meds and increasing the time between dosages of medication. Fortunately, or unfortunately, however you might want to look at it, I have such a complex cocktail of medications that I can afford to extend the time between dosages a little bit and not suffer the consequences of it. But it is an indicator to me that I might be taking more than I have to be. And I'm trying to find the minimal effective dosage at this point in time. It's kind of a floating bar of what is appropriate for me at any given point in time. And that bar changes, that level changes due to many different circumstances, but I would say once again that diet is the most important, supplementation is secondary. Sleep is another very important factor, which I haven't done in a while, or haven't done much of in a while. But to describe how sleep used to affect me, or the lack of sleep used to affect me, because I think it's important that you have an understanding of this. If I were to not sleep enough, and by enough I mean a minimum of about 8 hours a day, I would be dealing with symptoms throughout the day, positive symptoms throughout the day, in intense ways. It would be disabling. On top of positive symptoms, I would experience a tremendous amount of pain in my body, physical pain, muscular pain, joint pain, and overall discomfort. It would feel as if there is something totally blocking my life force from being present and active in my body. While containing many words that may not be all that descriptive for a lot of you, but it's worse than just being tired and feeling like you don't have energy. It's feeling as if the energy were totally sucked out of your being, just you were devoid of this energy. You're not sleepy, you're exhausted. And there's pain associated with that because your body is saying, hey, give me energy. The cells of your body are saying, hey, give me energy. Where is this energy? And the energy is nowhere to be found, no matter how much you eat. And even if you sleep a little bit or meditate or do something like go for a walk to try to energize yourself a little bit. It's a little bit difficult to describe things better than that. Yeah, anyhow, I mean, I'm dealing with the repercussions of having not slept. Positive symptoms are quiet, functioning relatively well. My mind is pretty clear. Um, you know, still looking at this as a positive experience overall. Happy to be making another video. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this video or not. I mean, I look like hell. I look exhausted. Look like I've been through a lot over the last little stretch of time, and I have been. But yeah, positive symptoms are still low, if not effectively non-apparent, non-existent for me. And all of what you're seeing now, all of the stress and kind of strife that you may be witnessing in me right now is due to exhaustion. And that will change with some sleep. I think Ativan. I have recently totally come off Ativan, aside from taking it today, which is the first time in about a week that I've taken any. I have the ability to take it whenever I need. I used to take about 2 milligrams a day, up to 2.5 or 3. And it was necessary to subdue physical sensations, physical stress, and pain in my body that was not handled well by other medications or any other approach that I had found. I had some very strange symptoms, physical symptoms, which might have been side effects of medications, but it's hard to say. Kind of electrical sensations in my body, feeling like there is this just charge of energy electrocuting me effectively, and it would affect my nervous system, especially my lower spine, my hips, my legs. I still have considerable akathisia. Right now it's pretty quiet, but in general I have considerable akathisia. I can hardly stay still. Something I've gotten used to and kind of just allow. I can work to focus to stop it from happening, but it requires a lot of effort, and the feeling just builds. The sensation of needing to move, of needing to shift around, just continues to grow within me until I finally have to release it. And it's not something that I can readily control. But it's not as bad as it used to be. And I figure having some restless leg syndrome, as other people like to call it, that's my term for it at least, because it is basically restless leg syndrome, but it's due to medication, so it's really akathisia. It's no big deal. Dealt with worse. Dealt with things that are more painful and difficult. Anyhow, I think this video has gotten a little long in the tooth. And so I'm going to cut it short. Or cut it where it is. It's not too short. I hope this has been somehow illuminating, somehow helpful, at least for you to get to understand where I am with different components of my treatment plan and what some of the potential states of being for me are, and how I look during those states of being, how I think during those states of being, how I interact with others with this camera at this point in time during those states of being. Um, it's all more data. It's more data for you. I like sharing data. I think it's useful for the most part, especially when there's a frame of reference for it. And I'm hoping that I provided a frame of reference that is sufficient. Anyhow, I need some water. Get back on that horse later. A little bit of sleep is going to be miraculous. Do wonders for my health and well-being. For my sanity. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. And once again, I hope this was helpful. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this video yet or not. I'll find out in time. But this, what I have said and the way I've said it and how I look and all of that is the result of lack of sleep, being up all night, working too hard. And, you know, it is one of the possibilities for me as a person with schizophrenia. But it's not so bad. Get through these things every day. Get through these things all the time. And there is greater ease in the future, greater relaxation in the future, greater functionality in the future. Moving towards that direction or moving in that direction towards those goals at all times. Accomplishing them step by step, different points along the way. And again, I will say thank you, and it's time to truly sign off. Goodbye.